Who is on my shirt?
Which is confusing the hell out of me because it's Britney, but you're a huge Justin Timberlake fan. So are you going to Team Britney or are you going to Team Justin?
But here's my question. Can't we love them both?
No. He did her wrong. He did her wrong.
And she did him wrong. They both did each other wrong.
Have you read the book?
I read the book. It was a whole lot of mess.
It's Coffee Social, the podcast all about social media and business. And now, here are your hosts, Jonathan Howard and Mimi Langley.
Hi, Jonathan Howard.
Hello, Mimi Langley.
That sounds really creepy. Please don't exit out of this podcast
Hello,
episode.
Mimi Langley.
Oh my gosh, that's even creepier. Jonathan, who is on my shirt?
Britney, but you're a huge Justin Timberlake fan. So are you going to Team Britney or are you going to Team Justin?
But here's my question. Can't we love them both?
No.
Like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. Can't I just love them
No.
both? They both did each other wrong.
Have you read the book?
I read the book. A whole lot of mess.
I know. I haven't read the book and they were kids. So we got to let them, I don't want to get in trouble for anything I said. So I'm just saying I didn't read the book. I have no idea. I'm just, I'm commenting on her shirt.
Yeah, well, I love both of them. So cheers to Brittany, cheers to Justin, cheers to you guys listening and watching in. Cheers to you, Jonathan Howard.
Thank
That
you,
was
Mimi
a lot
Langley.
of cheers. Oh my gosh.
And yes, still a wine glass.
Still my pink Target mug with the red sticker at the bottom. There we go. Oh my gosh, you guys. So I'm really excited, as always.
Mimi, excited about an episode? Never.
We're really excited about this episode because it's about Jonathan's favorite thing he loves to teach about, and that is Instagram.
Bring me the questions.
Bring
yes.
you the question. I told Jonathan, I said, listen, I'm going to be the student this time around. I mean, I barely have any notes because I can tell you a little bit about Instagram because I'm on there, but Jonathan is my go-to person whenever I have a question. So we're going to be focusing, about showing up this year, 2024. We're going to be talking about standing out, right? And there's some really cool, I would say, newish features that Instagram has that we're going to talk about. So Jonathan, real quick, should I introduce myself?
Yeah,
Is
you
there
should probably
time?
introduce yourself because, hey, you are
Oh, yeah.
a random
Hey, everyone.
person.
I'm Mimi Langley. I teach women in business how to host rooms on social audio, how to host live rooms and moderate on social audio like LinkedIn audio, like Clubhouse. That's what I teach and preach about. It's a great way to grow your business. So I had to put that in there since this is an Instagram episode.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right. Yes, my name is Jonathan Howard, and I am the owner of Success on Social, and I show successful female coaches how to show up uniquely with their own signature style on social media so they can reach their ideal clients, make some money, stand out from all the noise that is out on Instagram.
I love that, Jonathan. I want to throw you into your first way of doing this, way of standing out and showing up. And that is, now you wrote this down, sir. So look at me calling you sir. So you tell us what it means. You wrote down nothing is ever fail proof. What does that mean?
Nothing's ever fail proof. I mean that when it comes down to Instagram in general, nothing that I say will absolutely work for anybody else, because my audience is different than everybody else's audience. Just like anything any other expert says about Instagram, they're basing it on what they've experienced with themselves and their clients. It works for them. However, it may not work for you. You may not connect with it. Your audience may not like it. So nothing is ever fail-proof. But when you boil it down to who we're dealing with people.
Bingo. Yep.
Right. So we're dealing with people. And people buy based on emotion. And the best way to get emotion into what you're doing and what you're selling is through storytelling. So we have an episode coming up that's all about storytelling. I'm not going to dive too deeply into it. But if you want a foolproof plan for 2024, start telling stories. Start telling the stories of your clients, your stories, things that are happening in your business. When you tell those stories, people are going to connect with them. They're going to connect with you, and it's going to be a much stronger than just throwing out, here's all the facts that you need. And people are like, oh my God, I'm buried by the facts. Like, it feels like me throwing my hands at this. And that's a lot for people. So tell them stories. They remember stories. They're more powerful. They're going to connect you with the right people.
I love that, Jonathan, because one of my things that's, I think, always really helped in my business and growing it is telling stories because of the remembering part. There's so many people talking and giving a lot of the same tips, but if you can tie in something that's memorable, people will remember you. It's true. So I love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. People will remember you. And if you really want to be that person, that go-to person, that, that business of one, you own your niche. You have to own your niche. You have to tell stories. You have to, show people why you're different.
I love that so much. Oh my goodness. Okay. And if you are stuck and you're like, well, what the heck kind of story can I tell about my business? Definitely come and listen to that episode, you guys. It will be on the podcast page. It will be on the YouTube channel. So that episode's going to be dedicated to storytelling. And so we'll give you guys some examples of what we mean when we say storytelling. Okay. So can we talk about, I can't even say his last name, Jonathan.
Adam Mosseri.
Wait, let me try. I was going to read it. I have my notes here. Adam Mosseri.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a good name. Hi, Adam. Adam Mosseri. Okay, so he is now. What does he do for Instagram? Because I know he's on Threads a lot.
He's the head of Instagram.
Oh my gosh, he's the CEO.
Well, he's in charge of Instagram. Yeah, because Instagram falls under Facebook. But yes.
Wow. How long has he been doing that? Do you know?
I don't know. I should know.
What are his credentials? I'm just kidding.
We'll put them in the podcast notes for you. So I'll have to go get them for you and give you his resume, his CV, all the stuff that we need. Okay. I'll get it for you. But you should follow him. You should follow him on Instagram. Mosseri is his screen name on Instagram.
I was going to ask, do you because I do this for when I'm on Clubhouse. I obviously follow the founders of Clubhouse, right? So you would definitely recommend following anybody who's top notch at Instagram, right?
Yeah, I mean, I follow Adam Mosseri. I follow the creators page. I follow the Instagram business page because they make separate announcements on those pages. They give you information. They give you top tips. They talk about the algorithm, all sorts of things. That's how you're going to get the best information. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so tell us, what are some things that he's mentioned that you feel like, oh, this is a good opportunity?
So I think one of the biggest opportunities is, and he's mentioned this a lot of times, and this is also, they have WhatsApp, they have all this stuff, but Instagram, Facebook, everybody across the board, people are focusing on private social media. And by private social media, what they mean is messaging, the opportunity to message one-to-one or one-to-many. So you're looking at the opportunity to send messages to a whole bunch of people, which is like your email, which they now have broadcast channels. I'll talk about that in a second. And then your one-to-one messaging, which is your DMs, which they now have notes. And inside of notes, there's a whole lot of options for you to include, like a music, include a quick tip, include whatever you might want to do. So, and your notes are they're kind of like stories that disappear in 24 hours. They're there and they're gone. So you put up a new note every day, maybe connecting with your people that you DM directly. So
wait, okay, so the notes, just so I can get this clearly, and I've noticed, I don't think I think you mentioned this before, but not everybody
has it yet. Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I have notes, and where they're located, they're in the DMs, and they're at the very top. It almost looks like stories for your DMs, but it's just text message. It's not video. I don't think. It's just
it's not video yet. There's talk about it being a whole bunch of different things. You can add music to it, like what's your favorite song, and add your favorite song and stuff like that. So there is definitely some talk about expanding it because it's one-to-one communication. So
so people can reply to it?
Yeah, they can send you a DM with their reply, which gets them into your DMs. So much like stories, it's a great way to start building those relationships with your people that follow you. Once they get to the point of DMing you, they're much closer to making that purchase.
I love that. I know you're so into the DMs. I love that. That's like a, don't just stop at stories, right? Like, this is another way to hit them.
Yep. And stories are important because stories, again, also have the opportunity to get them into the DMs, but you want to make sure that you're including other ways because they might not watch stories. Some people don't like stories.
It's crazy because there's stories has been part of Instagram for a long time now. And so many people are using them. With notes, it's called notes, right?
Yep.
With notes, not everybody has the feature, so it's not so flooded.
Right.
giving you the chance to stand out. So
Yeah, absolutely. And if you use it differently, if you find a unique way to use it in your business, just like your broadcast channel, which I'll talk a little bit more about, but yeah, there's lots of opportunities for you to stand out because not everybody has it, not everybody's doing it. Just like when Reels came out,
Yeah.
if you were on Reels early, you got millions of views because you were one of the few people doing it.
So since you keep bringing up broadcast channels, what the heck is a broadcast channel, and do we have to leave the platform to use this?
No. So what's amazing about the broadcast channel is, like email, it allows you to send a message. One, you are the one, to many who are the people who've joined your broadcast channel. I'm wondering if you like A or B. Or you can send a message out saying, hey, this is a trending sound you should try using. Or, hey, here's something really cool about whatever it may be. And it's an opportunity for you to message a whole lot of people. So you set up your broadcast channel on your profile. And there's actually now a button where you can do that. And it'll ask you, do you want to set up a broadcast channel? It asks you to set it up with the however many things there are there. And then you can start inviting people to your broadcast channel.
I love that because you're right, though. Like the people that are in the broadcast channel want to be there. Like they're the ones who are saying, hey, they're accepting the invitation pretty much. So you're not just,
Right.
reaching randoms, right? So that's a pro. That's a bonus. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge bonus because there's a lot of people, we all have fake followers on our accounts, period. Whether we like it or not, we all have fake followers on our accounts. And Instagram does an okay job clearing them out, but there's still people that don't engage with us. My only thing I would say is don't use it as an opportunity to just push the things that you're already posting. Give extra information. Give more value.
That's the only thing that kind of, and I think maybe for a lot of people, it's kind of like, okay, I'm on all these platforms. I feel like I'm saying the same thing. How can I make this different? Which I feel like we just need a whole episode on how to make your broadcast channel different from your regular, Instagram feed. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you can come up with a lot. I like the idea of having polls because again, it's a great way to get feedback from your people. But I feel like, I actually, now that I'm saying this out loud, one of the best ways really to see what's happening in a broadcast channel is by joining broadcast channels.
And I would recommend joining Adam Mosseri's broadcast channel because it is a fantastic channel where he puts out like, hey, here's some new features, here's some new things that are coming out, here's some things that we're doing, here's some things, would you use this? Like if we gave you the opportunity to do this, would you use it? And it'll give you some insight as to how you can use it because it's not general information he's putting out on his profile.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That's a good idea. I want to ask you about, so we talked about broadcast channels, we talked about notes on Instagram. What about, we mentioned the word stories earlier. So of course we have regular posts on Instagram, then we have reels, we have Instagram lives that we can do to stand out as well. But what about stories? Because I still think stories, this is my opinion, they're very much relevant. Mm-hmm. What is, like, you have this beautiful funnel that you like to teach about for Instagram, and stories is part of that funnel. Can you just tell us real quick what that is, what the funnel is?
Absolutely. So I'll talk really quick about my funnel. Top of the funnel is going to be your reel. If you want to get people into your ecosystem, you need to be doing reels because that's one of the only ways that you're getting discovered. Unless your content is getting to the explore page, your reels are where you're getting discovered. So creating really good reels will get you discovered, which means that your reels content needs to be, a little bit broader, a little bit, hey, here's a basic idea. And then you build that trust on your feed. You show them, hey, as you get to know me, you're seeing more information here. Here's how you can do this. You can even include things where you go deeper based on a reel that you did. You can have a carousel post where you go deeper on that topic. So you're building that trust in the middle of your funnel. Alongside that is your DMs. So you're building trust in your DMs and your live. Now, how do you get people into your DMs to actually sell to them then? That's by doing things like having your stories. People that follow you all the way down to stories, they're people that have been following you for a while. They're people that have built trust with you. They're people that want to know what else you do because on your feed, you're showing the curated version of yourself. This is what I'm teaching you. Although we tell you, you don't have to be as curated, you don't have to be as clean, you're still showing the curated version of yourself. When you get to stories, you show a different side of you. You show the things that are happening in your life. You also should be selling in your stories on a fairly regular basis, like daily. You should be selling because those are the people that are willing to buy. They're waiting for that moment where you offer them something. If you don't offer your people in your story stuff, they're going to get tired and move on. So that's, a great way. At the very least, if you're not selling anything, get them onto your email list.
Yeah, I love that, Jonathan. And when I think about stories, because I feel like I show up on stories more than anything, because for me, stories is number one, really super duper easy to show up on for me anyways, right? I just love being able to just turn on my phone and just go. And I know obviously we can, reels, you make reels very easy to do, but when it comes to stories, I just love, I don't know, just it's easy just to show up, right? And in some ways stand out, depending on what you're talking about. And if you can make it really fun and entertaining and interesting for people that will want to keep coming back to you because, like doing a series or something, right? That's a great way to stand out. People want to follow your journey, and again, we're talking to human beings like you started off this conversation with is, you're talking to people.
You're talking to people.
Build that know and trust. Yep. And share your stories, be vulnerable, all these things, emotion, that's what it is. So anyways, I feel like stories can really help with that. I don't know. It's almost like your reels, it's almost like you're an acquaintance, but in the stories you become friends. So
Absolutely. You have built that trust with them. You've gone down the funnel. You get them. They get you. Oh my God, that's so me. They're connecting on that level. So when they're in your stories, the worst thing you can do is just keep sharing stuff that you've already posted to your stories. You want to post real things, real stories, things that are happening, things that are important. Yeah. You can go deeper on some things even there. Yeah, I talk a little bit about who I am, what I do, the dogs, that sort of thing. But I also provide some deeper content like, hey, there's new text options on Instagram Reels. By the way, there's new text options on Instagram Reels. Here's a story about it. Stuff like that I'm not posting on my feed. They have to go a little bit deeper to get.
I love that. Wow. Okay, you guys. I know we're going to wrap up. We like to keep these episodes digestible. There's probably going to be a part 2, 3, 4, 20. We always say that, right? With everything
25, 40. I could go on for Instagram
7,
forever.
Infinity.
And beyond.
Great conversation, Jonathan Howard. I feel like with these ways, we could all seriously show up. And I love, you drop so many gems. Again, if you guys want to dive deeper into Instagram, of course, keep sticking with the podcast, but definitely tune into Jonathan. We'll have all of our socials in the description for you, and connect with him if you really want to up your game with Instagram for your business. All right. We have to wrap it up, Jonathan. I don't want to, but we have to because you won't let me do a 3.5 hour podcast episode.
No. Although the 3.5 hour podcast could be. I've taught a 5-hour class on this, so yeah, why not?
Okay, well, tell the people where we are, what to do.
Where we are, what to do. Well, you can follow us on Instagram, Coffee Social Podcast. Also on YouTube, follow, subscribe, enjoy, listen, whatever, all those things you need to do. Also, give us 5 stars wherever you listen to your local podcast, because Mimi loves her stars and she wants all 5 of them. So make sure you give Mimi her stars. And remember this very, very important question.
Wait. Hold on. We have to give a shout out to Brittany again. You're not just giving me 5 stars. You're giving Brittany 5 stars because I'm wearing the Brittany t-shirt. Okay, go ahead, Jonathan. Yes. Wait, you're going to ask the
No, I was going to throw it to you, but okay. But we're going to ask, but remember, the most important question, Mimi, what is the most important question?
The most important question to ask yourself is, are you Team Mimi or
Team Jonathan?
I don't even like asking that question anymore because it's all Team Mimi. So
why would it all be Team Mimi? What would make you think I'm drinking my coffee out of a wine glass?
I'm wearing a Britney shirt. I've already won everyone over with this. Okay.
wine glass.
Well, thank you everyone for listening in. I'm going to go ahead and argue with Jonathan off of the screen, off of the podcast.
That's right.
Appreciate all of you. Bye, Jonathan
guys.
Howard.
Bye, Mimi Langley.
Bye,
That was
guys.
much nicer than the beginning where I went, bye, Mimi Langley.
Bye, Jonathan Howard.